Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back. I'm excited to get into these reactions of the day. I have to be completely honest. I had so much fun doing the Disney princesses that I'm excited to get into the Disney princes. I guess they have a little bit of a disorder for the females. So let's see what type of disorders that they have for the males. Come on guys, let's get into it. A little mellow today. Can you tell it's like my voice is a little bit mellow? That's all right, y'all. Let's keep going. All right, let's get into it.
Serious mental disorders. Prince Charming. Also known as Prince Henry, he is Cinderella's first and only love. This character allows his father to control all aspects of his life, even supports the idea of finding his wife in a dance to be held at the palace. In the course of the event, Henry was bored with all of the women, but somehow he looks at Cinderella, and even if it is not for her intelligence, kindness, or dancing talents, he chooses her to spend a night together full of love and fantasy. Although they spent a beautiful evening, it is difficult for Prince Charming to remember the face of Cinderella. He goes all over town trying the slipper that this princess left in the dance by accident on every woman. The worst part is that he is not even able to recognize her when he goes to her house. But what kind of a man wouldn't remember her face? Well, this happens only to people who suffer from prosopagnosia, also known as facial blindness. It is a disease making people unable to recognize faces, even their own. They can see all the facial features separately, but those features are never integrated as a whole. Their brain is not able to process all the information your eyes send, as if there were a disconnection.
Okay, obviously I know sometimes I'm not going to know all of these like mental disorders, but I have to be honest, to be able to see someone's face and not be able to piece it together, that has to be so frustrating. Obviously, did I know about this mental disorder? Absolutely not. But to be completely honest, that's a horrible thing to have to deal with and live with. But come on guys, let's keep going.
Prince Florian. He is known to be the sweetest prince in Disney history, sweeping Snow White off her feet with a beautiful love song. But if we start to analyze the outcome of this story, who would dare kiss a corpse in a glass coffin? I doubt someone can stomach that. The truth is that this prince has something that many don't, and it is a very serious problem known as necrophilia, a psychological behavior that is known to be an obsessive attraction for corpses, a profile that fits Florian to the T. As if that were not enough, that wasn't the only thing wrong with this prince. He's also into minors, since Snow White was only 14 years old, while he was 18. It's time to tell the authorities that something is wrong with this boy.
We have to remember that these movies were made a long time ago, and 14 and 18 was kind of normal back then. Obviously, it's weird and creepy in our day and time, but back then, that's what they did. I think that's really weird that he did kiss a dead corpse. I don't know, that was just very strange. But I'm happy that the kiss brought Snow White back to life. Come on, y'all. Let's keep going.
Prince Eric. If you remember The Little Mermaid, we'll realize Prince Eric has a serious problem. First, we know that he falls in love with Ariel when she rescues him, being captivated by her sweet voice.
The sun, just you and me, and I could be part of.
Then he falls in love with Ariel all over again after she gets legs, but doesn't realize it's the same girl. Later, he falls in love with Vanessa, who is really Ursula because she had a very captivating voice. Finally, Eric falls head over heels with Ariel because he realizes that she was his original savior. All this indicates that Eric suffers from ADHD, suffered by people who have a great deal of difficulty paying attention and concentrating on things around them, while their attention is limited and have no idea what happens at times. It is evident that this prince has to meet the person more than once before he falls in love. something rather difficult in Disney movies since the vast majority often find love at first sight.
Okay, I mean, let's be realistic. I think that it's great that he didn't fall in love at first sight. I mean, it took a minute, like, okay, all right, let me get to know you before I fall head over heels. I mean, it's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I don't really know what type of disorder he had. I mean, to me, it felt like normal things that normal people would do. I mean, come on.
Captain Phoebus. Phoebus is one of the male characters from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. He returns from the war to Paris to become captain of the guard and lead the troops of Claude Frollo. Initially, we see the unconditional support towards Claude, but seeing the injustices against the gypsies, he opposed the abuse by standing up for them. But in spite of his chivalry and goodwill to defend the gypsies, this character is also passive-aggressive, with a cynical, pessimistic, rude, and even sarcastic attitude. Although his love interest is Esmeralda, when he sees her in the church, she rejects his feelings at first. That's when he shows his insecurities, sarcastic comments to Esmeralda, and she grabs a candlestick to defend against his insolence.
Arrogant. We all could be arrogant at times. Is that really a mental disability? I think that's a choice, but let's keep going.
Prince Phillip. This prince is recognized for his bravery and heroism in Sleeping Beauty, fighting against Maleficent and the obstacles that she sets against his lady. He was also considered one of the most tender princes, appearing next to Aurora's cradle as a child. However, we can see that this prince has a rather manipulative behavior. When he falls in love with Aurora's voice, he bribes his horse with food to take him to her. After meeting her and falling in love, he manipulates her father with real love speeches so that he accepts the marriage with the girl he met in the forest and not with the princess with whom he was engaged. This character has a pretty common disorder, somnophilia, known by sexual attraction for someone who is sleeping. Now we know why he was excited to learn that Princess Aurora was asleep in his castle.
Okay, I'm so sorry. That was insanely crazy. I don't even know what to say. That's crazy. He fell in love with her. He thought that she was sexy sleeping. I don't know. Let's keep going. Oh my gosh.
Shang. A military commander that struggles with himself from the start. In the beginning, we can figure out that he's the manliest character of all. Still, when singing Men of Action to Mulan, something funny stands out.
Let's get down to business.
Many of us think it was an observation about gender roles, but today we know that this was about gender repression, where he tells Mulan that he is not as masculine as she believes. In addition, he has the burden of becoming a great leader just like his father, stressed when training a group of inefficient soldiers to turn them into the best warriors in China and defeat the Huns. As if that were not enough, he struggles with the attraction he feels towards Mulan, believing she is a man. All this generates intense anxiety that leads to panic and can lead to suffering psychological or physical problems.
I mean, women put women down, men put men down. I mean, I didn't know that was a disorder, but I hope that you guys are learning something new just like I am. Let's keep going.
The Beast.
Oh gosh, I love this movie.
This character was not always a beast since before he was known as Prince Adam, a poorly educated and arrogant man that causes a sorceress to curse him, with love being the only way to break the spell. We know that the Beast suffers from a great borderline disorder, which is a fear of abandonment, thus taking extreme measures to avoid separation or real and imaginary rejection. That is why he kidnaps Bella's father for simply wanting to grab a rose, and how he then trades a young woman's freedom in order to save her father. The Beast is upset to see Bella terrified by his mood swings, anger, sadness, loneliness, constant feelings of emptiness, inappropriate and intense anger. It's okay for him to be a beast, but he shouldn't refuse to use a spoon or kidnap a book lover along with her father. It's time to self-evaluate because this is not normal.
Okay, I have to be honest. Growing up, Beauty and the Beast was one of my favorite movies. Absolutely one of my favorite. Did I think that it was a little weird? I thought that both of the main characters were a little interesting. I mean, but to learn that the prince turned into the beast had a lot of things that he was dealing with. Of course, I mean, we could see that in the movie that he had a lot that he was going through, but to be able to see it in some type of mental disorder type of analogy, especially because he had a fear of being alone. How could he have a fear of being alone when all of his utensils, inadequate objects within his home, were able to talk? I guess he just wanted a human to talk to face. But I mean, he did what he had to do, and he got bail. Come on, let's keep going.
Prince Naveen. He is the handsome male character from The Princess and the Frog. In the beginning, we can see that Naveen and Tiana don't get along because of their different personalities. While she is a very hardworking person, he just wants to have a good time and live in the moment. After sharing various moments together as toads, they start growing love for each other, so much so that they end up getting married. Although Naveen is a very charismatic prince, this character suffers a severe case of narcissistic personality, a mental disorder characterized by having a deep need for excessive attention and admiration. Now we know why the Facilier tricked him so easily, by giving him what he wanted the most: admiration.
I mean, I can agree with that. I ain't gonna sit up here in front to you. But I'll be honest, this Princess and the Frog became one of my favorite movies, of course, when it came out. I never had a black princess. Besides Brandy. Let's give Brandy her credit because she was our first black Cinderella. But I mean, like, to have it in this type of form, loved this movie. Now, is he a narcissist? Yes. Yes, he is definitely a narcissist. Definitely hit it on the head. They got it correct. Come on, let's keep going.
Prince Hans. He is the first infamous Disney prince from Frozen. Though at the beginning he seems kind and charismatic, that's nothing but the tools he uses to manipulate others and getting his way. We can say that this prince has many disorders. He lies, shows disregard for right and wrong, is insensitive and cynical, uses his charm or ingenuity to manipulate and obtain benefits for himself, shows significant irritability, agitation, hostility, and aggression. This Prince of the Islands of the South is nothing more than the incarnation of the antisocial personality disorder, being able to deceive the naive Anna and plotting to keep the kingdom of Arendelle for himself. He doesn't care about consequences and won't stop until he gets what he wants, with no regard for the fact that one of the princesses can knock him with their ice power. This young man is nothing more than a low-key fool with family problems. It's time for this prince to go to therapy.
I mean, I didn't really like him in the movie anyway, but I love Frozen. I did not like his character at all. I mean, his disorder is definitely what he suffers from.
Flynn Rider. He is the main male character from Tangled, a very imaginative young man who lives in his own world, where he sees himself as a winner and fulfills his crazy dreams, which are nothing but extravagant fantasies. Although he is a thief, he thinks that at some point he will get a lifetime reward and get what he wants the most: success, power, glow, and beauty. He has many superiority complexes. He is arrogant, envious, and needs constant admiration. He thinks that he can manipulate whoever, and he proves this in the scene when he saves Rapunzel from her evil fake mother.
Rapunzel, let down your hair!
His dreams go far beyond fantasy, because Flynn thinks that being a professional thief, he can afford an island and live in a castle surrounded by money. In the end, he didn't get his island, but he did get the love of a beautiful princess and a castle.
Last I see the light, and it's
The fog is lifted.
Listen. Absolutely love Rapunzel. I mean, I think I loved all of these Disney movies, to be completely honest. But Rapunzel, I think, honestly, the way that they described him for his particular mental disorder, it just sounds like a man trying to find his way in the world. I mean, I think it's difficult being a man anyway, because so much pressure is put upon you. But I mean, was he really suffering for a lot? He just wanted admiration from that woman that he wanted. Now, I would say some of the things he did was a little wrong. I mean, he was a thief. Let's just be honest. But he was just trying to find his way in life. I mean, okay, guys, so we went through a couple of the princes. I don't know if all of them were princes, though. Like, I'll just say some of the male leads. But I mean, what do you guys think? Do you agree with their mental disorders that they claimed that these Disney male leads had? I mean, some of them was spot on, baby. Some of them was right there. I hope that you guys enjoyed this reaction to this video. As always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye!